Okay, so today we're going to do, oh, awesome. Okay, so we'll do that one after. We're going to do some chakra stuff. So I have a dream catcher, not for the dream catcher part, but for the colors, for the chakras. I also have this little Buddha that you'll see the stones, and then the selenite wand with stones. So we'll go through that. But what I want to talk to you about today is how the chakras will indicate when a client has a physical issue or something physical in the body, and if it aligns to one of the chakras, what it's saying emotionally about the issue. There is a reason we get the illness in the place that we get the illness. Not only what I was telling you the other day, perhaps the right side, the left side, but there's some component linked to the chakra. So I want to start, afterwards I want to do this activity with the string about weight, and then we did this really cool activity, and we're going to, if we have time, we'll do that with the story. So my drawings, you know, suck, but this is going to be my...
Supposed to be the health.
Okay, what is this?
DNA? Looks like it.
It's not DNA,
Kind of looks.
but
Is
this
it the
is
health
supposed to
logo?
be a snake.
Oh, the health logo?
The health logo, perfect.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Shit, I don't know.
The physical health, the medical doctor symbol.
Yeah.
This is my rendition because I can't draw.
No idea.
But the caduceus,
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
okay? So you have, and I don't know if it has two E's or, okay. So this is the caduceus. This is the symbol for medical health. Why? Why is this? Do we have another marker? Why is this? I mean, mind you, you could pick up a picture and see that I'm not the best drawer, but you guys have seen this. It's on every doctor's everything. Okay, and Ella will be so gracious as to get it on on Google Images. That isn't my image, but tell me what this has that is medical in nature.
Is it because I remember I read something about that. It's something related to grief.
Oh, of course, right, that's what I'm going to get to. But why is this the symbol of a medical, physical health? Does it have it? Does anything stand out that says, wow, that symbol makes sense that that's medicine?
No.
No.
This is hard to
Because it's hard to draw, right? I mean, that's a pretty good rendition. These are supposed to be the chakras.
It looks like
I'm going to tell you. Can you tell that they're snakes?
Yes.
Okay, so these are snakes.
Snakes or
These are wings. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The X's, these are the chakras. These are actually called nadis, which is another word for channel, energetic channel. These are the wings of Mercury. So it represents his winged sandals. So now you have a little bit more detail. Now you know that these are winged sandals. Thank you. Ooh, 7th chakra. Of Mercury. That has nothing to do with the medical model. 0. You've got energetic channels that are these two serpent snaky things that have nothing to do with the medical model. And you have the chakras that have nothing to do with the medical model. This is the medical symbol, because you're right. When we talk about, what was that? Hermes is Mercury, same. Yeah.
I read something about it. So.
Okay, same God, Greek, Roman. So, somewhere, long time ago, before we turned into the medical system that we have now, someone knew that physical health, emotional health, and mental health, and spiritual health were actually correlated. Somewhere. Now that has been dissolved. We're trying to get back to that. But we knew that there was a mind-body-spirit connection. And this represents that. This isn't very good.
Oh,
It's fine, the black one will have to do.
let me go steal another.
So, okay, so and speaking of steel, because the chakras are found in a lot of different traditions, but we're going to use mainly the yogic traditions or the Hindu traditions, okay, just for the purpose of the 7. I can bring in a book, it's called Energy Anatomy. No. That's not the book. I will find the book. It's something like that, and it's really well done. It's almost like an encyclopedia of all different types of energy healings, all modalities. She did a really, really good job with this book. And in the section of the chakras, she goes through all the different traditions. So Native American, and I think they have like 11 chakras, and they're called different things. But we're going to use this sort of Hindu model. If you're into this, there is a phenomenal, highly, highly recommended free book online by Arthur Avalon, and I think it's Rainbow Serpent or Serpent Rainbow, something
Unicorn?
like that.
What? Unicorn?
No unicorn. Because it describes, it is the best book on the description and the explanation of the chakra system and how energy flows through the chakra system. I'm going to give you a brief intro because what I really want to do is link it to the physical so that when someone comes and on their intake you ask any physical problems, breast cancer, you know that I am dealing with 4th chakra because this is the 4th chakra level. So my issue psychologically, emotionally, has to be linked to this chakra. And right there, it gives you mind-body-spirit connection. Awesome.
Iffy.
Okay, iffy. Yeah, they're all.
Iffy.
This is 4th chakra, I just talking about it, so here we are.
That's not the
So you count from the bottom up?
Yes, I'm going to explain. Okay. So the first chakra is red. Okay, so let me just show you. So back in the day, of course it had to fall because that's what's broken. My heart. My 4th chakra. So that had to fall. Everything is symbolic. So I'm holding it in my hand. You're dressed 4th chakra to the lipstick, and that's for your 4th chakra because it's green. The 4th chakra, green and pink are like the colors. Okay, so this is a selenite wand. If you guys are like into this stuff, it's really good for like clearing and stuff. But what I would do, what was that?
The name of the book is The Serpent Power.
The Serpent Power, thank you. Very good, free, downloadable PDF, highly recommended. Okay, and after today's lecture, it's going to make a lot more sense, especially if you don't have history or background. So back in the day when I used to do chakra healings, I would, at the end of a session, I would put on each respective chakra, my client would be on the table, and I would put a stone on each of their chakras, and I would take my tuning fork, and I would infuse into the chakra after they've been cleaned and healed and blah, blah, blah. And I would take, I'll show you, and I would take the tuning fork and take the power, the energy of the crystal, and put it, because it's aligned with the vibration of the chakra, because each chakra has a color. Each chakra correlates with a gland in the system. Each chakra correlates with certain emotions. Each chakra correlates mind, body, spirit connection. So the medical model, excellent, fifth chakra and another black, which is nothing. Or everything.
They're temporary because they're Christophers.
Oh, okay. So then I would put them on the selenite wand when the client would leave to get them clean. Okay, so I'll show you that after. But this is one way, and we're going to go through the colors. So each color. In this little Buddha, you see that he has each of the little chakras. It's so cute. He's so cute. He looks like my dog. This looks like it's black, but it's not. That's like probably like a red, very deep red stone. So you see that all of his chakras are aligned, as the Buddha should be, right? And then here you have a dream catcher, which looks like a rainbow. Lo and behold, as above, and we are a microcosm of the heavens, right? We know that in all of myth and all of story. So we have the rainbow in us because it's the exact same alignment of color. So that's the way to remember. Okay? So red, first chakra, orange, second chakra, yellow, third chakra, green or pink, fourth chakra, blue, fifth chakra, and then you've got the indigo, blue, and a purple for sixth and seventh. And sometimes it's shown like translucent or gold. And each chakra has a Sanskrit name. So you'll see this in that book. So sometimes you'll see, for instance, the third chakra, which is also known as the Manipura. That's the Sanskrit word, and it means crown jewel or city of jewels. And this is the city of jewels, because this is where all of your power is held. And we'll get to that. So each Sanskrit name in that book is listed. We're not going to go through those, but just so you know. Okay? So there is a link. So this is your human body. Now I'm going to tell you a quick little story. Mercury, or Hermes, this is the symbol, astrologically. This represents Mercury, the planet Mercury. The planet Mercury is also known as Quicksilver. And if you've ever seen the Percy Jackson movies, you'll see the winged sandals that Hermes gave to Percy. Okay? So in mythology, Hermes, Mercury, had winged sandals. Let me tell you why. And why this is the symbol of medicine that doctors don't know. In mythology, Mercury was like the trickster. So in the heavens, what is right next to the sun? What planet is next to the sun? Mercury. In your astrological chart, Sun and Mercury are always together. They might be in different signs. And when we do more of the astrology, these are just tidbits for you to remember when we talk about that. If you have your Sun and your Mercury in different signs, those people tend to have more difficulty with like their fragmented self, with like conflict, inner conflict. There's a way to know in the chart. But the Sun and Mercury are always together. So in Greek mythology, the Sun is known as Apollo. And his brother is Mercury. So Apollo was a very upright guy. He tended to his cows. He had his land, everything in order. Great. Now Mercury is born. About 2 or 3 minutes after he's born, he's in his crib. He has antenna for a reason. Boing! And he's like, oh shit, all these cows, I'm gonna steal them. But he's clever. So he's like, how can I steal them, make money, without letting anyone know that I'm the thief? So it dawned on him to walk backwards from the crib, and he stole all the cows and he sold them. This is important, okay? Because he sold them, he lied, he tricked. This is the reason that we as human beings do not know ourselves. This is why our self, this is our sun, our self, right? Our true self is covered by our false self. Super, super important. Okay, and we're studying here so we can help people see the true selves. This is a really important story because it's going to explain back at the campfire why we have these fragments, okay? That we have a false self. Mercury is that reason. So he steals the cows and he sells them and he makes money. Okay? It's all going to come together in a minute. Then he keeps one cow and he puts it to the side because he foresaw that he might get in trouble. What's that saying? Apologize, ask for forgiveness, do it now, apologize later, ask for forgiveness later. That saying, that's the Mercury. Okay, he's like, screw it, I'm going to do it now, but I'm going to have a backup plan. So it's always this strategy, it's always the mind of the trick. What am I going to get away with? That part of you is this. And we all have it. We all have a trickster. That's Mercury. And hence, and I'll tell you in a minute why they're winged sandals, is the reason that man doesn't, what? Know thyself. It's because of this. And these sandals and these wings. So he tucks the one cow aside, and Zeus comes. And Apollo goes to Zeus. And Apollo's like, look, Dad, I know that he was just born, and he's a cute little baby, but my brother stole my cows, and I'm pissed. And Zeus is like, impossible, he's too cute. He's like batting his little eyelids, and he's like, impossible, he was just born. And Apollo is like, look, I know. So Zeus with his lightning rod comes down and says, Hermes, what happened? I didn't do anything, Daddy. But Zeus starts investigating and realizes that he was lying. So lie, cheat, steal. Very important words. That's this. And so what did Hermes do? He goes to the cow, he chops it up into little pieces, and he puts it on a little plate, and he flies up to Olympus, and he gives all of the gods, flickering his eyelids, a piece of meat. And they think he's so cute that they say, we are going to make you the god of communication, the god that rules the nerves. So the nervous system is the communication of the body. When there is a nervous system issue, Paula, this is you. This is everybody. But this is something very important in her story because of her disease. So this is the communication. This is also the god of music. And what did they give him? The job of Mercury was to be the only god the only God that was able to travel to the upper world, aka heaven, aka Olympus, where the gods live, right? And the underworld, which is hell, which is where Hades lives, the devil. Where did he rarely spend any time? In the middle world. So he needed winged sandals to fly and communicate, because none of the gods were going to go down to Hades. They weren't going to go down to the underworld. Ugh, gross. But they had to communicate with the underworld. They had to communicate with the fates down there. They had to communicate. And they needed Mercury, who was conniving and swift and quick and smart and trickery, to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And guess what the upper world is? Future? Guess what the underworld is? Past. And what would this be? The present. And where do we as humans refuse to spend time?
The present.
In the present moment. And that's why we're all sick. We don't want to be here. We're yearning for what we had, or we're yearning for what we want. Who the hell wants to be in this inferno? So, here we are. So, our false self is this Mercury. And this is why in our chart, Mercury is always next to the sun. And lo and behold, in the solar system, it's next to the sun. Because the Mercury, the lie, the cheat, the steal, the trickster, the past, the future, this running to go, 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 the winged sandals to get what you're after, doesn't keep you present, is all the things that keep you from knowing your true self. And why man does not know thyself. But if man truly knew himself, he would know what?
His thoughts. To live the present.
Man, know thyself, and you will
The
know
wonders of him.
the wonders of the universe. That's why astrology and psychology and subconscious and shadow work is the way to truly know yourself. And we start from the heaven down. And our system, our physical body, is the rainbow. Representation. Everyone loves when there's a rainbow. Oh, and if there's a double rainbow? We don't want double rainbow in the body. It's excess of chakras. That's imbalance. Anything in excess. But we love a double rainbow in the sky. And if we go up the rainbow, guess what? We really do find the pot of gold. Because, as our dear little Buddha, what happened to Buddha under the Bodhi tree when he discovered who he was? What did he reach? Enlightenment. And there's your pot of gold. So if you know yourself, and you are in the present moment, and you understand the connection of mind, body, spirit, you identify your false self and are able to live in the present moment, and you really know your true self, and you really understand yourself, then you too can get your pot of gold and reach enlightenment. And all that Buddha did was realize, oh, I'm fucking up. Because he didn't want to eat. He was sitting under the tree, and he refused to eat. And one day it dawned on him, oh fuck, I'm not going to reach enlightenment if this dies. I got to nurture this. not only be in the present moment, not only my spirit, which is what we're seeing in community now, but our humanness, lower chakras, which we'll get to in a moment. And so he ate rice. And once he stopped starving like a dumbass, and he got out of the 0 to 100, because he left, his father was filthy rich. His father kept him locked up in a palace. So he would never ever know any pain and suffering in the world. That's the 100. Then he went the other extreme, the 0. And it wasn't until he sat under the tree and said, "Boo," and ate the rice, that all of a sudden he reached enlightenment. So imagine all of the chakras going, like in The Price is Right. Okay? So what are the chakras? Each chakra correlates to something physical. So if a client has physical stuff, like an illness, myself, you know that you're working at that chakra. And you can start questioning, and you can start with the story, you can go right to, where's your broken heart? Was it a coincidence that my 4th chakra fell? That I have breast cancer? That I have a broken heart? Mind, body, spirit. That's simple. So you could go immediately to the place in the body where the person has trauma. The chakras hold emotion. The body holds trauma. And it sends it to the chakra where it's related to. So I talked to you a little bit about the organs, like the knees and cancer and the breast and the nervous system. This is another way. First chakra is red. It is the root. And it is from the lower extremities. So oftentimes people that have problem, do you remember that day that Catrill had the red shoes? And I said, look at him, he has the red shoes. He has somewhere to go so fast, because they were bright red sneakers, okay? That was a first chakra issue. And he can't move fast enough. He's Mercury, like personified. He can't, he's not swift enough for himself. So every single chakra can be excess or it can be diminished. Either 0 to 100 is a problem. Either one. So him wanting to run so far and go, build his empire, or someone who can't move because they're so lethargic, because they're just stuck, is a first chakra issue. Either way. So the color is red. And it goes to the lower extremities. So when people have problems in the lower extremities, it oftentimes is related to a first chakra issue. Remember the 4 needs? What are my 4 needs? What else?
Love.
Okay, love or connection. Security or safety. These are mine, but you're my students.
Validation.
Validation, exactly. These correlate with the first 4 chakras. Okay? So usually someone who has a first chakra issue has a safety or a security need. An unmet need. Why were they unmet? Why are needs not met? This should roll off your tongue. I've been here many months now. Why do we have unmet need? You were born to what?
Oh, facilitate your parents' needs.
You were here to give your parents meet their needs. So your needs were unmet. And who are you trying to get to meet your needs? No, not yourself. We wish. husband, your lover, your money, whatever your God is usually how we're trying to meet our need. The God that we have tends to tell you what unmet need you have and what chakra is